G'day folks, and good morning. Now, I've been a fan of Australian history since as long as I can remember, particularly the bushranging period, and the most famous of those, Ned Kelly, of course. Now, if you're a fan of Ned and who he was and the boys, then bear with me. I've come to Glenrowan in northeast Victoria. Bit of a pilgrimage. It's something I've been meaning to do since I was about 8, 9, 10 years old, something like that. This is an exact replica of the original Glenrowan railway station, station house. I'll take you on a very short little journey anyway. That's where they took Ned. It's where the train pulled in. Everyone unloaded. Apparently they had a pile of saddles and baggage and stuff just here at the end, because to hide behind, all brave coppers, and well, I guess there was bullets flying. You couldn't really blame them. Straight over there, you can see the sign, an exact replica again, as the photos will testimony to. Make that out if it focuses. That was Anne Jones's place anyway. That's where the siege took place, on the very aptly named Siege Street. And you can see it's quite close. Now, one thing I've got a bit of a problem with is the position of the section of the railway line. I've come out I'm staying just over there. There's the now Glenrowan pub. I'm staying in a little place just right next door to that, conveniently located, as it were. Now, sorry, as I said, the curve in the railway line where Ned tore up the railway tracks, on the plate layers tore up the railway tracks, so the train would go over into the gully. Now, it says about 1 kilometre east. I was going to walk all the way down the ballast both ways today. Now, the thing I've got a problem with is it says 1 kilometre east. Now, all the trains that have been going, and of course, yes, there's more lines here now. All the trains that have been going past have been coming from the west. And I know that's the west because that's where the sun went down. They've been coming up there and going this way, heading east. And the reason I'm up so early today is because I wanted to see exactly where east was. Now, the info around here says that they tore up the railway line about 1 kilometre east on a curve, 1 kilometre east of the township. Now, if all the trains are pulling in from the west, oh, look at that, isn't that beautiful? There's a rainbow. This is my last day here too. I've been here nearly 3 days. If all the trains are pulling in this way, then a train coming on the curve from the east isn't going to make it to town and isn't going to pull up. You know what I mean? It would have to go past the town, and the break would be down there. Well, that just doesn't make sense. So the train had to be coming from that way. Then they fixed the line. I think Thomas Curnow warned the train, stopped the train at somewhere around between 2:20 and 2:30 a.m. on the 28th of June 1879. So the curve must be down there, but instead of being a deep gully to the side of the track, there's a rise. Now, I saw a recreation, a doco by Tony Robertson not long ago, and they definitely had the gully on the side of the track. So I don't understand. That also goes uphill. The train would not be going fast uphill. So I'm thinking that the section of railway line with the curve and the gully is to the west. Now, unless the township was a lot further west and the train came past that, but then why would Ann Jones's pub be there and the plate layers camp, the gravel contractors camp and all that be there? So I'm going to really have to find out exactly where that curve is and go there today. I hope I didn't make that too confusing. If anyone can answer my question out there who's a Kelly aficionado, please give me a hand with that, because I'd really like to know. I'm not sure what this little building is here. It's just a storage thing. Brilliant little building. I'm just going to pop this down for a second and take a photo of that rainbow. Alright, sorry about that. Now, so yes, so we got that. It said that the line was broken to the east of the town, which would mean the train would have to go past the town first. Doesn't make any sense. If the town was here, and I imagine it was, and it's just blossomed and bloomed and grown up around this place, well then the break in the line would have to be to the west. Now the lady that owns the motel where I'm staying says her husband's a real Eddie expert on the subject, so I'm going to rouse him up, and before I head back to New South Wales I'm going to try and solve this once and for all, because I've come a long way to be here. Alright, anyway, just quickly, that rainbow beautiful, that's a bit of a gift I reckon. So everyone's piled out here, meaning the train had to pull in this way, right? Everyone's piled out this open ground here. In the contemporary sketches and photographs and whatnot of the time and of the actual occurrence, this was relatively open ground, so big old gums. I don't think many of these trees would have been around at the time, but yeah, some of them might have been big old ones. Of course, there was no overpass there. You can see the overpass of the railway going over the tracks. That was a gate coming down this road, like a level crossing. There was a gate through there to both sides of the town. That's the blacksmith, which of course wasn't there at the time either. But that's for sale if anyone's interested. Right, the gravel contractors camp is just there with the tents. Ned and the boys roused them up. That Italian guy fired his gun. Can't remember his name now. Call him Luigi. So coppers are scattering all through here. Martini Henry 45 caliber carbines, Boxer Henry carbines, same as the ones that they used in the Zulu wars and such in Africa, which was also a big story at the time. It was the same year, 1879. Okay, so this gully here I think is a creek and quite possibly was there at the time too, because that goes under the culvert up and under the road now and heads up the hill there, up the mountain. So I'm assuming that the party of black trackers from Queensland, all well armed, probably this is the gully that they would have hidden in, just down here. They've got a little path and a bridge here now over this creek. It was probably a creek, like I said. So people are firing pretty much as soon as they got up here. And the boys in the hotel up here with their, I think it was 62 hostages. Bloody amazing when you see the size of the place used to be. But here they got little markers of police positions and so on. That just would have been a creek. People hiding in and firing straight across the road. There's the sign, the famous sign in the photograph, and very faithfully recreated too, I must say. It really is. Can't tell you the amount of depictions of this sign in photograph and sketch and painting that I've seen, and that's exactly how it looks. So folks, that's where the hotel stood. Wish I had a dollar for every time I said I had a time machine to go back. So of course none of this place was here. That house wasn't there. That wasn't there, of course. It was all very open over this side. Small hotel with a couple of rooms out the back and a breezeway. The boys' horses were tied up out the back and they were all shot and killed, all except for Music, Ned Kelly's horse. Oh, I guess he got on somehow. The strength and the tenacity of that man boggles my mind every time I think of it. I guess he got on Music, which was the name of his horse, his favourite horse anyway, to go and warn his mates that were up there behind town, up that hill possibly somewhere. He's gone off to warn them to not come down and join the fray because the train wasn't derailed and the shit had hit the fan. So that's exactly where the spot is, where they burnt down the hotel, where young John Jones, I think it was, Ann Jones' son, mortally wounded. Martin Cherry was mortally wounded. Sorry, there's a car coming, but that's normal. Oh, no, it's not. It's a little bike. And the siege ended on the morning of the 28th. So there have been coppers all around, firing from all around, down here, trying to get close, all around the back. All around the back. The boys' bodies were found in there by Father Gibney. The body of Joe Byrne was dragged out. That's where it all took place. You may have seen the Time team in Australia with Tony Robertson. That was all dug up, and they got archaeologists in there. It was very interesting. I recommend you watch it if you're a fan of the subject. To me, this is like a bit of a pilgrimage. And I hope I'm being as eloquent as I can. It's real lump in the throat stuff for me. Yeah, well, this is Glenrowan anyway. I did another short clip. You can almost hear bullets, yells and things going off. If you've got an imagination like mine, you can anyway. I'll just walk up here and show you, I guess, to finish off this clip. Hope I haven't bored you to death, but the exact spot, or as exact as they can get, the spot where Ned fell. It's quite a distance from the hotel. Well, not really, but when you consider there's the hotel, Dan and Steve are still in there firing, returning fire. Coppers and civilians, armed civilians, are everywhere, right around, hiding behind trees and shooting through the hotel. I'm not sure if the hotel, yes, no, the hotel was on fire by the time they called it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, I could be wrong there, mixing up my facts, but anyway. This street wasn't here, of course. There's the old smithies for sale. Call Insight Real Estate if you're interested. That's the old police station there. Built after the siege, of course. Beautiful old building. Some wood smoke in the air. It's late April here actually. Coming up to Anzac Day, so it's starting to get a bit cooler. There's the lock-up they moved down here. That's one strong little building. But anyway, Ned came down from the bush up there. Clad in his armour. Bullets ringing off him once they found him, you know the story. And still shooting. Fell here. They've got this little, quite large statue thing actually. Little sculpture, I should say. It's as close as I can get to holy ground for me. This is where he fell. Finally succumbing to the buckshot from Steele's, is it Constable or Sergeant Steele's gun? Sergeant Steele. Like I said, it all been, if you can imagine, none of this was here, just bush, trees and bullets. It's just starting to rain. I gotta put my camera away, go back to the hotel and put the kettle on, I think. And yeah, such is life.